Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? And today, I believe I have more and more confirmation that this is it for Bitcoin, that we are going to finally be breaking out of this huge range. Now, I have two big things. The first one is how different the price action is. Um, the last 3 weeks compared to previous times, right? We can see it is completely different. We could see, number two, there are big rejections, right? So if you guys don't know how this works, pretty much, right, you guys see these lines. What that indicates is that price was there at one point and it's no longer there. So we can see last week we were, you know, 65K, we started to sell off at one point to around 59 and a half, and then eventually we ended at 62 and a half. And then, at one point we were also here at 64K. We failed to stay there, and at one point we're actually all the way down to pretty close around 59,000. But the week is ending very soon, right? We still have 2 more days, and I believe it's going to end more or less around this area. And if it does, we're going to have a big weak sell candle, right? So weak as in weak, not strong, not as in the weak. And this is really good because I've seen this happen on gold time and time again, ladies and gentlemen, right? If we actually look back on gold, we can see gold pumps up, does this thing for a little bit, has about 2 weeks of, some selling pressure, but it ultimately fails. And then eventually it goes back up. And we kind of got the same thing again very recently, right? Lots of selling pressure, but the price failed to stay. And then even before, right? Price goes up for 2 weeks. It tries selling off, very weak selling pressure. Eventually it keeps going up and up and up. So for me, it is having very similar, pattern to gold. And yeah, if selling pressure is gonna be weak here around these areas, right? If I just remove everything, if if the market fails to start selling around here, that means buyers are winning, right? Because technically these are and have been more or less good areas to be selling. So if people are no longer selling and the pressure, the selling pressure is no longer there at technically a great area to sell, what does that indicate? That the buyers are being stronger and eventually that we are going to get out of this range and eventually in the very near future, we are going to see a massive rally